y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a story I want to share with you from October 16th from thestreet.com. And it is talking about the DNA collected from 23andMe and how it was stolen by hackers. And the implications of this article is discussing the implications of the hacking. Now, I've always been suspicious of these DNA sites. They've been collecting them. The one reason I was suspicious is because I knew that law enforcement was had permission to use those sites, and they were cracking cases with those sites. Now, I know people are like, "Well, that's a good thing," but it's not a good thing because the that meant that the um, biotech companies were basically selling off your information. When you agreed to use that service, you agreed to have your information sold, and you agreed to allow, them to do whatever they wanted to do with that info. Also didn't know who created a lot of these companies, and what a lot of people don't know is that them little hat people over yonder that's fighting now, uh, they created a lot of this technology. Um, the childrens of the corn. That's what I'm gonna call them. The childrens of the corn. If you know anything about that old movie, you get what I'm talking about. So the children of the corn created a lot of this technology, and they have used this information that they've collected from these DNA samples to develop biological weapons. No matter what they say, I don't care what they say, they have done that, which is how they can design um, designer plagues to attack certain people in certain nations. You ever notice that? How you think that happens? It's because they've been collecting our DNA for a very long time, and they've been modifying these viruses so that they will harm certain groups in certain ways. So anyway, I want to talk about this. So it says, here's why DNA is a hot commodity on the black market. And why you should refrain from using these sites, because at the end of the day, there's an agenda behind everything. Yes, it may be nice to figure out who you are, but you might be getting all of us yeeted because you don't understand the sinister plot behind the collection of this information. So it's like you paying for your own genocide. It's basically what's happened. So it says DNA is the key to a person's most sacred hidden links. Now just let that sink in. And folks willfully give it away so they'll know that they came from someplace far away, or they want to know their ancestry. I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. It's actually a good thing. But the bad thing about all of it is the people who created the platform for you to be able to do this are so sinister, so wicked, and so evil that trusting them is just foolish. And I just don't understand why people keep trusting the enemy, especially black people. But okay. Through a tiny sample of saliva, you can unlock the door to one's genetic traits, health risk, familial relationships, and even ancestral roots. The most confidential information is now at risk of no longer being confidential after hackers stole genetic data from millions through popular DNA testing firm 23andMe. About 1 in 15 adults in America have taken at-home genetic tests. Companies that offer these tests, such as 23andMe, Ancestry DNA, MyHeritage, and others, blew up in popularity in 2017 after successful advertising campaigns and end of the year price cuts made them more accessible to consumers. Of course, now remember now, this is 2017, right before the see what's happening here? We voluntarily off ourselves by trusting the enemy. We don't think anything about it. And people always call me suspicious or overly suspicious or, like I said, a conspiracy theorist. But one, I have common sense. Two, I have spiritual discernment. But three, I have a background in business. I went to school and took marketing. And so I know the ploys that businesses use to, sell their stuff. They make stuff that's bad for you sound sexy and good for you. And then they'll add a commercial with some nice trusting people, and folks just be like, "Oh, I'm going to do that." Not thinking about the sinister plots behind every advertisement. So that's why I'm not easily sold on hardly anything. And it's very hard to convey that to people who don't have a business background, who don't take marketing, who don't understand um, the sinister mindset behind American marketing and capitalistic marketing. So it's very difficult to get to convey that to people who don't have that background. But I'm here to tell you, I don't be believing hardly nothing. So it says the popularity of at-home DNA tests has remained ever since. However, privacy concerns have recently come to light after 23andMe, one of the first companies to offer direct-to-consumer genetic testing, had a data breach earlier this month. Hackers performed a credential stuffing attack where cyber criminals used stolen passwords and usernames from a different previous hack to gain access to accounts in the system. Data from the profiles, which included DNA ancestry and other personal information, was compromised in the 23andMe data breach. The information was put up for sale by hackers, raising concerns and questions as to why on earth would hackers be interested in obtaining information pulled from DNA samples. So I'm putting my hat on here, tinfoil hat. They're going to use this information, in particular, uh, of Americans, to design bioweapons to target certain groups. So when these viruses start coming out, certain groups gonna be having more yeeted folks than other groups because they will have had all the DNA information they needed to do the different type of warfare. And so this is what fifth generation warfare is going to be all about. Everybody keeps talking about nuclear bombs, nuclear bombs, nuclear bombs. The one takeaway that I took from watching Red Dawn the other day is one thing they said in the movie is that they are not going to use nuclear weapons anymore. Nobody is. There is too barbaric, does too much damage. They're going to destroy you from the inside and using other ways to conquer you. And so when you think about fifth generation warfare, think about 5G and the 5G technology and the fact that DoD has taken over the 5G technology. So this is a different type of warfare. So now nations can hack nations, get information from different private companies, use that information to target the people in those nations and create chaos from the inside so that it falls, but we make it fall. Or we cause the nation to fall because, say, a lot of our young people perish, so you only have an older population, or say a lot of older people perish, so you lose a lot of wisdom and a lot of the stability that comes from having a variety of age groups in a civilization. You have a lot of young people, you have enough old people. So when you start tampering with that, it messes up nature. That's the best way I can say it. It just messes up Yah's creation. And so when that happens, the creator just, allows us to destroy ourselves. And people don't really think of uh, what warfare is looking like today, but this is actually what the warfare is going to look like. And you're going to see an escalation of this, which is why I don't understand how we're all going to be like, oh, we're going into Web 3.0 and the Internet of Things. If they can't protect you now, how are they going to protect your CBDC from getting hacked? They're not. Your money just going to be took. Um, how are they going to protect anything? They can't. They've already proven that they can't, and yet they are ushering us into this new world where everything is going to be electronic and online, and it's just going to be a mess. But anyway, our data is for sale. Not mine, because I didn't use none of these things. Apparently, DNA is a hot commodity on the black market, and here are a few reasons why. Blackmail. Personal information such as ancestry, health data, and family relationships from users can be used as a tool for blackmail. For example, such private information can be used to expose hidden family secrets and malign one's reputation. Impersonation. Personal information such as addresses, phone numbers, names, birth dates, photos can be used for impersonation and to craft scams. Biometric security systems that rely on fingerprints, facial recognition, palms, and iris scans to keep data secure can be bypassed with stolen genetic data as well. So this is very bad, but y'all know they want this information anyway to put into their Internet of Things, because that's what's gonna be used for the mark of the beast system. You won't be able to buy or sell without that type of data. So that's the other thing that you have to keep in mind. They say they don't know who's doing this, but they know. I don't care what they say. They know. Biological weapon. Stolen DNA, if manipulated, can be used to create biological weapons, since hackers can sell data for gene editing, which is transhumanism, which is where they're trying to get us to, which is the process of making specific changes to DNA to develop deadly bacteria and virus strains. These diseases and other genetically modified toxins can spread and infiltrate food production, water supply, and other systems that rely on biotechnology. This is what I'm concerned about. In response to the recent breach of DNA data, 23andMe released a statement informing users that it has launched an investigation, which is nothing. They always launch an investigation. Then they're going to give you $30 and a year or two of credit monitoring, and that's all you're going to get. And then, 10 years from now, you're going to be bombarded with problems. Or from now on, you'll get Indian people calling you, uh, trying to sell you something, because every day our phones are ringing off the hook with calls from people from foreign countries. Just crazy. Um, so it says they launched an investigation and is encouraging users to change their passwords. We are reaching out to our customers to provide an update on the investigation and to encourage them to take additional actions to keep their account and password secure, the statement read. Out of caution, we are requiring that all customers reset their passwords and are encouraging the use of multi-factor authentication. If we learn that a customer's data has been accessed without authorization, we will notify them directly with more information. So, anywho, I just wanted to share this with you. If you have used 23andMe data, the DNA company, then your data has been hacked, and you should be concerned. Ain't nothing you can do about it, though. But just understand, this is what fifth generation warfare is all about. Fifth generation, 5G, it's a new era. And so while everybody's talking about bombs, 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 this is the warfare that we need to be worried about, because this is what is going to be used in the mark of the beast system. You will not be able to buy or sell without the mark, and they're going to make sure your information is in that database, whether you give it to them or not. So I'm gonna leave that there. All right, y'all, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload new content. Make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. So you may want to unsubscribe and then resubscribe, so that you can make sure that the system picks up your subscription and notifications. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey. Links are in the description. Also on Instagram and Facebook. Um, Links for those are also in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel, links are in the description for that as well. Keep praying, keep prepping, and make sure you're leaning on the Most High, because that's the only way we getting out of this, y'all. They got us in a bind, and we're going to need supernatural deliverance to get out of this. But understand, this is not by accident. I don't think any of this is by accident. I think this is all planned. And I think that, we should not be surprised by anything that happens now. But you should not be trusting this system. You should be thinking, if they can't, if companies can't protect data, how are we supposed to protect our own data and the people that we turn our data over to when we have to go into this new system? How are they going to protect us? They're not going to protect you. That's what you should be taking away. If governments can't protect their systems from being hacked, and corporations can't protect their systems, and we're forced to deal with both of these entities through technology, then you in return are not going to be protected either. So it's just another way to demonstrate how they don't have our best interests at heart, and they don't have any plans to protect us. You just give them your stuff, and then you just deal with the repercussions of it. So understand where we're going. This information is going to be used. When you look up, you're going to have biometric data that you didn't even supply, because they're going to collect it from us one way or the other. All right, y'all. This is Marley K, and I'm out.